I can't believe we did this again. Watch to find out who's joined the flock in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Parrot Teacher. I'm David and today I am joined by a mirror match. I've got Tuton on my left shoulder and I have a new friend here called baby Orville who's now currently sat on my hand, and I'm going to talk about baby Orville in this video, why we got him, how we got him, the problems and the trials we faced and the good things. Now as you can see, Orville is very closely bonded to Tuton already. I've got some theories as to why. We talked a lot about it on Patreon during the whole introduction series, and you can tell if Tuton takes off, Orville's quite close behind him, just like that. Now I'm going to pop these guys back with the rest of the flock in the other room because there's a lot of scary stuff going on at the window today, but I wanted to have him in this video to show him off and how beautiful he is. Now Orville is very closely bonded to Tuton, as I just said, and he is a 5-year-old cockatiel who we've adopted recently from a very loving previous owner who's actually one of our patrons. Won't reveal any more of that because I don't know if they want to remain anonymous or not. And he is just beautiful. Look at him. He does look very much like Tuton. It'd be very hard to tell them apart sometimes. But yeah, let's pop him back in the other room and I'll talk about him and show you some lovely footage of him throughout this video. Now, as I mentioned, Orville is a 5-year-old and he's also a clear cinnamon cockatiel. I know a lot of you guys like your specifics there. He did come from a loving previous owner, but they had to give him up, and before he came to them he was clipped, so you may have noticed his flying wasn't as amazing as it is, and they did do a lot of work with him. But we do notice that with previously clipped birds, especially if they've been clipped and kept clipped for a little while, their flying really does become very clumsy, and that's one of the challenges we've had to face with him as well, because we're used to our fully flighted cockatiels. But also it's been nice to sort of see the work that his previous owner did with him and do some of our own work to improve that, and we have seen some improvements already. So you might be asking, why did we take him on? We were asked to take him on again. We're not actively looking for any other birds, and I was very cautious about it, honestly. I asked for a long trial period, and I'll talk about some of the problems and the good things about that in a moment. But I was just very unsure because we are pretty much max capacity at the moment. This was the last bird we could take on because we had that lovely big double flight cage in the sort of living room, bird room now, and there was space for him. So yeah, that was basically the reason. Sophie was much stronger on the idea than I am, or I was, and yeah. But he's here now and he's a beautiful little birdie, and I do love him as well, much like the other birds. So that's basically the reasoning we were offered. He needed somewhere to go, and we're kind of glad we did take him on because his fate might have been very different if we hadn't. So I covered this in my Patreon series, so if you are a patron and you missed it, do go back and look at the whole bonding series. It was quite a quick bonding in some ways. It was quicker. Orville bonded quicker with the rest of the flock than he did with us, and we did face some problems. That's why we extended his trial period for a while. It's been going on for a little while. Orville can have a bit of difficulty stepping up, and he can be a bit of a nibbler, which is why I like to sleeve my hand around him. There's not many birds I routinely sleeve my hand for. Cole is an exception, obviously, because of his feet. But for Orville, I found it as much easier to eliminate the problem of him nibbling hands, being nervous on them. Any sudden movement, he'll be nibbling instantly, which is obviously sore for me or Sophie. So I thought, let's just skip that, get him used to going onto my sleeved hand and then transition it onto my bare hand later. He does still nibble, but he's much better, honestly. He routinely steps up onto that sleeved hand and no issue. So don't be ashamed if you have to do that, because it's one of the best tactics to get a bird to step up if they're nervous and not actively showing aggression, which is basically him. He's not actively showing aggression, he's just very scared of getting on my hand. We have started transitioning this to the bare hand. He's much better on that as well now, but he's just much more comfortable on the sleeved hand for now, so I'm letting him just enjoy that. The other huge problem we faced is he is obsessed with Tuton. That's why Tuton had to come in as well. If there's any distance from him and Tuton, it's just chaos. He's flapping around frantically, he's trying to get to him. Very erratic behaviour, very cross. He'll even bite out of frustration because he can't get to Tuton in those situations. And my theory is because he was a solo bird and he had a mirror or was exposed to a mirror at points, and obviously Tuton looks so much like him, so for him it was his dream come true. Suddenly the bird in the mirror and the reflection came to life. That's only a theory, mind. But yeah, he always wants to be near him, and that can be very sweet, but it can be difficult to manage sometimes, especially if Tuton wants to be independent and fly around and do other things. And the other thing is Tuton doesn't mind him being near him. He's a lot more tolerant now than when he first came, but he doesn't want him too close. So it's like a love-hate relationship, which is interesting as a dynamic. The other great thing about Orville, probably thanks to his previous owner's efforts, is he's pretty good at diet conversion. He loves his snacks, he will eat his veggies, but his favourite is hemp seed. We used to think it was millet out of a little pot, but hemp seed is his absolute favourite, which is great for treat motivation and training. Although he tends to decide when he wants to train, that's completely fine by us. Let's talk about a couple of highs before we talk about any other problems. He's very vocal, he has the sweetest little voice. He says peekaboo, he started saying uh-oh, he has this very quiet song. He knows how to do his big wings, he likes to wave a lot when he wants treats, and he knows his spin. So he's a very smart little cockatiel, and I think there's a lot of scope for him to learn other vocalisations and other noises, and generally use that cute voice for good or evil, I don't know. He does a lot of that stuff. He is also pretty good with stepping up now, and his flight has been improving. When he comes into land, it's more like a crash, honestly, due to the previous clip. Comes to your land, your head, it feels like you're being hit physically by something. But even that's improving with extra training. The whole flock dynamic has shifted as well. His relationship with the other cockatiels is interesting, but improving every day. We did our usual bonding work. We tried to introduce him slowly, although a bit quicker than normal, honestly, due to the way things went. And that helped a lot. You know, he will share foraging, he will not push his luck too much. He's a little bit more boisterous, honestly, but yeah, they've settled in very well, and they share the cage together now completely fine, and there's just no problems really. The other thing as well is Fish isn't the biggest fan of him, and this all started just to give Fish some company. But Fish probably is the least tolerant of him and the most nervous, but again, it is an improving picture. The settling in process has gone generally very well. He tends to be slightly more bonded to me than Sophie. I don't know if it's because I'm more a stable perch, or because the rest of the flock come towards me a lot. Cole does tend to favour Sophie, but all of them will end up on me because it's like a chain reaction. Fish comes to me, then Cole comes to me, then because Tuton wants me near Cole, Tuton comes to me, and then Tuton comes to me, Orville comes to me, and it's just, I'm basically just a giant Java tree perch for them rather than a human at that point. And it is cute and it is sweet to see them all acting as a flock, because things have changed so much for them and their lives. Because if you think about it, I consider they're all rescues in some ways, even Fish now, because of the situation. They're all rescues, and the way they've sort of come together as a flock of all males as well, and not having constant fighting and bickering is good. There is some, but it's a lovely setup. Going forward, no more birds, honestly, unless some miracle happens and we can have our sanctuary or rescue. We can't take them on. People constantly offered us their birds. We can't, we just don't have the space or time. If those people would like to fund a rescue, please feel free, we'll take on everyone. But for now, we are maxed out at the inn, and we're happy with the little flock we have and just spending time with them. Lots more training hopefully for them. I will do update videos in the future. I'll probably do another Meet My Birds video so you can sort of get to know them all individually. Any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, take care and see you later.